Hey guys, just received my new Diamondback Haanjo 7C carbon gravel bike. Haven't really seen much online or on YouTube for this bike, so figured I'd put together a quick unboxing video. Alright, so this is the 7C. I ordered this on Friday at about 1 o'clock. And today is Monday lunchtime. So, really quick delivery. And we'll see about pulling this out. Okay, right out of the box. Just 4 pieces. Well packed, came out really easily. There's our accessory box, seat post, front tire, and the frame, which looks really nice straight away. Okay, opened up the accessory pack. Pretty standard stuff. Some of the accessories that come with it, including the tubeless ready valve stems. It's the various componentry on the bike, the manuals, form wheels, and the derailleurs and brakes, carbon paste for the assembly here, and the owner's manual and assembly guide, which comes with a key ring with the appropriate Allens if you don't have them. Okay, we've got the bike mounted up on the bike stand. Step 1 is to, and so sorry, focus there. Insert and set the seat post. I have to say straight away, everything on this bike so far is just gorgeous. So really very nice parts. It's a Pro Tour head carbon seat post with the WTB seat. So we'll get this mounted. Okay, so I've got just a thin coat of the carbon paste on the seat post here, so we'll go ahead and slide that in and make sure it gets past the minimum setting. And you can see that the paste is sort of oozed out a little bit. We'll get that cleaned up. And on the top here, if it'll focus, is 6 Newton meters is the torque spec. You have to be very careful to hit that on specifically the carbon frames. So everyone should have a nice torque wrench like this one. This is an auto set. So you just read the scale on here. Upside down, but you get the gist. So we'll go ahead and tighten that up. Get the rest of the frame stripped down and ready for install. Alright, so I'm kind of doing this in pieces here. I don't have a good setup to sort of get the old thing while I'm taking everything apart, but basically undoing the front handlebars here, just taking the zip ties off. We'll pull this faceplate off and get ready to mount the bars. So these bolts were on here are actually really pretty tight. So the T-handle wrenches like this will be a big help if you've got them. Otherwise, probably be a little bit of effort with the hardware that came with them. I'm going to go grab some Antiseize compound to put on these threads for the bolts when we reassemble everything. Alright, so this is the Antiseize that I typically use. They're most pretty much the same. And for little bolts like this, I usually just take and sort of dab a little bit on there and twist it. And then that's going to give you Antiseize, obviously, so it doesn't lock up and makes it thread in a little bit easier. So we'll get that threaded in. On it on there. you do these in a star pattern, so sort of tighten this in order to get equal pressure on the bars. I don't tighten it all the way down on that pattern. I kind of do it in increments around. And then using the torque wrench here, I typically go one less than what's shown. So this shows 5 Newton meters. We'll go to 4. So you just sort of twist it until you hit the 4. And we'll call that good. And that was the last one I had to go on. So, all right, so we got all the protective wrapping off of the fork here. Last step is to put the front wheel on before we start kind of calibrating everything, make sure it's dialed in right. This through axle just unscrews. We'll pull that out. We'll put a light coat of grease on it. And then this here is just the spacer for the calipers so that the brake pads don't get squeezed in on themselves. This is a good thing to keep either for travel, if you're going to take the front wheel off, so if you accidentally grab the front brake, it doesn't squeeze the pads in on themselves, and for brake bleeding, so definitely hold on to this. So we'll grab the front wheel, get it mounted up, and go from there. All right, so I've got the grease out for just a real light coat on the axle. I'll probably pull the rear off and do that as well. I've got the Park Tool stuff too. I generally only use that for the bicycle specific components. For the axles, I like this stuff. Probably no difference between the two, but I use this for dirt bikes and heavier applications. So I always put a light coat of that, just a real light coat on the axle. The wheel here, we just have to pull these spacers off, check behind it that this piece here did not come out with it, because this is the other side for the axle. So we'll pop that back in. Pull the other side off, being careful not to touch the rotor. All right, so we got everything together here. Assembled as far as we're going to go for now anyways. I still got to mount the pedals and do kind of an overall bike check on it. So we'll go through, check all the bolts, make sure all the fasteners are good, set the air pressure, check things like the derailleur function. I can hear that the brake rotor's rubbing on the pads a little bit, so we'll center the pads. All in all though, this bicycle is really impressive out of the box, especially for what you pay for it. And I have to say that the order process was pretty awesome. I've ordered a number of bikes now through consumer to direct, and sometimes it takes a while to get them. I ordered this one, like I said, on Friday afternoon, and I had it by lunchtime on Monday. So that's pretty quick service from a consumer direct. And overall, I said this bike looks awesome. I can't wait to ride it. We'll get it all dialed in, and I'll get you guys an update on this as we take it out on the road and gravel and everywhere else. So it's the 2019-2020 Diamondback Haanjo 7C Carbon. Thanks.